Tonight on The Goat Show.
Kick him out the party bus, kid. Fortnite.
As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another.
Sounded like a fucking crackhead.
They got that good coffee down there.
Yeah, that good coffee.
I'd like to take this time to apologize. Absolutely the fucking nobody. I'm the fucking best.
Welcome to The Goat Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. My name is ZiLLY. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Fresh and Deezy. Oh, damn, Deezy's lit one up. He's ready to go.
It's my traditional intro. I notice Fresh is caught on. Every time you go to introduce, I light up a joint.
Well, some people call him Maurice. Some people call him the Gangster of Love. All right. Well, what they don't call him is arrogant, because Deezy's a humble gentleman. But I gotta say, guys, it was supposed to be the golden age of America. In some ways, it's still the golden age. We're definitely holding people accountable for fucking around with us and having them find out. So we're going to talk about Colombia. We're going to talk about China. But before we do, Fresh, what do the people have to do?
They gotta like, they gotta subscribe, they gotta hit the bell.
I want to interrupt you, brother. Listen, I'm going to talk to you. I'm talking to you. I see a lot of likes, but I ain't see no subscribes or retweets. All right. I want some subscribes and retweets. All right. Is that too much? Am I being too forward?
No, bro. Dare I say, if you don't do it, you're gonna fuck around and find out.
I mean, I don't even get it. How can you like and not do the retweet? It's like human nature. Just one out. Anyway, y'all fuck around, you're gonna find out eventually. Just like Colombia. So for anybody who hasn't been following the news, these Colombians, man, what's going on with Colombia? I like, first of all, I personally have been to Colombia. I won't say what happened in Colombia. That may not be appropriate for, innocent ears. But I'm just saying, Colombia is a wonderful place. It's beautiful, especially Medellín. If you've never been to Medellín, I don't know how they pronounce it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful city in a valley. And it really is extraordinary. And you can take a gondola ride there through their hood.
Did you walk up the stairs?
We did some stairs. So for anybody who hasn't been to Colombia, to Medellín, Colombia. So it's backwards. In the United States, if shit is nice, like in Hollywood, pour one out. But if shit's nice in America, you're building your big home on the ridge. Like say Chattanooga, Tennessee, you know what I'm saying? Georgia. The big homes are on the ridge. If you go to Austin, Lake Travis, the big homes are beyond the ridge. All right. Colombia is the opposite. I think most of South America, I think maybe Brazil is the same way. It's the opposite. All the cosmopolitan, new, rich people, whatever stuff, they're all living in the valley in these brand new, apartment complexes that have been built with, I don't know where the funds come from exactly, but they're being built. And
who knows?
A lot of people knows.
Indeed. But yeah, you got these new buildings in the valley, and then the actual hoods, I think in Brazil they call them the favelas, right? Whatever it is.
Favela, yeah.
Yeah, favela. As you go up on the ridge, that's when the shit gets real. You know what I'm saying? That's when the you start getting into the slums of the hills, right? So I know Medellín is the same way. And so they've done a wonderful tourist attraction where you can go down and get on the train. And then what people do is to get to work or to get to where they need to go, because the ridges are so, compacted, to get from one place to another by car or by whatever, like you're going to be going down these windy things. Yeah, time for that. Not when you got to get to work in the city center. So instead, what they did is they built gondolas like you would see at a freaking
at a fucking ski resort.
Yeah. They build gondolas, so you can do the hood tour in Medellin. You go down and you can get on a gondola, and it will literally take you floating over the hoods and the slums to the very top, and then you can stay there and then come all the way back down. You can actually see, get a peek into what life is really like. And I think that, before we get into all this business with Trump and all this stuff, I just think maybe that might be a way that we could do some things maybe in American hoods. I think it's a good business idea. I think let's create, high up gondolas that go over the hoods of America. And that way people can see what it looks like. They can see, what it's really like, get some perspective.
Bro, why don't you just fucking go walk through the streets like a normal person?
No. You got to get gondolas that are bulletproof.
No, the gondolas are where you're safe, brother. You know what I mean? You can fly over the favela without being in the favelas, bro. Because one place you don't want to be is the favelas.
Those are gonna be obsolete when we get flying cars, bro. And then you could just like take your flying vehicle and just like hover.
It needs the wire, or else they can shoot you down. Without the wire, you're getting shot down, bro.
Right. It's got to be really high towers, the wire, and it like, and you have to bounce with it. You know what I'm saying? You need a tour guide. You need somebody in the gondola telling you where you are, specifically in the hood.
All right, so check it.
Telling you what's Bloods, what's Crips, what's Cartel. You know what I'm saying? Where the streetwalkers are, where the good corners are. You need a tour guide. So,
Good little Italian boy showing you New Jersey.
Anyway, just an idea. If you guys think it's a good business idea, TGS, what do you call it? TGS Gondolas LLC. Maybe that's a good name for the company. Let us know. Comment below, and let us know if you think we should, create an offshoot. And by the way, the plan soon is to have some TGS merch. Maybe I should throw that out there. Maybe some TGS merch is coming in. Maybe some other TGS products are going to be available for the hardcore 250 fans we have. Thank you for being the first 250. I mean that sincerely. Anyway, okay, back to the story at hand. So anyway, Colombia, wonderful place, beautiful. I've been there. It pains me actually to see that there's some strife between our nations. So for anybody who doesn't know, quick recap: the United States is kicking fucking criminals out of our country. Now that Trump is back in power, there are no apologies. We will not tolerate crying Selenas. Cry all you want. We take in these fucking murderers and
Fucking crocodile tears, bro. Take those fucking tears and drive them. Don't you take some of those? Isn't she a billionaire, this bitch? Or close to? Like, well, go take that money, bro. Go spend it.
Guess who's marrying?
Benny
Blanco.
Blanco.
Are they married? Are they together? I know they're together, but are they married?
They're together. I don't know if they're married yet, but regardless, I mean, is she crying because his family's getting?
No, he's a different ethnicity.
Who knows? Who knows?
Oh no. Listen, he's written some great hits. I don't want to throw shade on Benny.
Listen, he's got a great cookbook. We've been cooking stuff out of his cookbook. Believe it or not, it's great. It's a great cookbook. So you go, Benny Blanco.
Is there a lot of soy in it?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she has family. Maybe people. From my understanding right now, that the priority is not, normal whatever people. The priority is like ruthless killers and gang members and child traffickers and all that stuff. And from what it looks like, this convoy of criminals that was put on a 747 that was going to fly back to Colombia. These are all Colombian nationals. They literally are not American. They are Colombian nationals that are criminals who have committed heinous crimes in our country. Trump put them on a plane. He said, "Here you go, Colombia. Enjoy." Colombia, from my understanding, agreed to take them back. I don't know what happened, but
the problem was that they sent them handcuffed, and they told them, "No, you're gonna send them back with dignity." And like, I'll be honest with you, bro. You could take your criminals in cuffs, or you could take them in body bags. Like, that's my answer. I'm just being honest. Like, we don't want them here.
yeah, let me ask you guys: Do you think I mean, if someone is, I mean, I guess there's international law, these things we call human rights. I guess that's there. But I feel like if you are a killer, and you have been convicted, like you actually have been convicted of that crime, and you're just, I think it's just, hey, if you're illegal,
Is it not an act of war to not take back your deported or whatever, like the deportees? Don't you have to take them? Is that not an act of war that you're saying no, fuck you, you deal with it? So then, if that's the case and it's an act of war, like we're not, these are prisoners of war. What's the protocol? Do we have to keep them alive?
And I would like to point out that probably a lot of of those people are violent criminals. So like, or they're drug dealers or something. Like people are freaking out, crying, blah blah blah, deportation. But as we know from the Dr. Phil fucking sideline fill in, that like they're catching people that are guilty of doing crazy shit. Like for instance, exploitation of a minor and stuff like that, like child crimes.
which I, so, okay. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of the Colombian thing, this whole God, I mean, it feels like the energy. I don't know if it's the energy of the country. I think it is the energy of the country. Like it has shifted because you back in the day, you got a crying Selena, pouring her tears out, and it would be like the biggest. I mean, it would be the AOC. You remember AOC going down the border, crying on her knees at the wall in that beautiful white outfit she had, just looking flowing beautiful hair and just crying her little heart out. My goodness, I fell in love with her right there and then.
No simping.
And now you got crying Selena.
Bro, where's the tears for Lake and Riley, bro? Where's the tears for all the people that are killed by these people who were let in? Everybody's crying for the bro. I don't give a fuck. You're not allowed to be here, and you're complaining that you got caught.
Yeah,
That's no, bro. And I don't want to see these crocodile tears. It's crazy.
yeah, and it's not just white girl, whatever, like Lake and Riley. It's like, well, who was that one chick that and Trump brought her out? It's like in the Hispanic community, right? It's what was her name? I forget her name, man. Dang it.
Catalina Valdez.
Yeah, she was the one who lost her daughter, and it was really like I don't even want to repeat it. It was so disgusting what happened. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like I couldn't live with myself if that happened, to my daughter. So yeah, I mean, where's the sympathy for them?
You're crying crocodile tears for people who, like, it doesn't matter if they don't understand. Like, it can be sad for the kid. Nobody's saying this is gonna be great for the kid. The problem is who the fuck you're blaming, bro. You're blaming the government for keeping the country safe and secure when the fucking problem is the parents putting their kids through this. You came into a country illegal and either had a baby to try to stay or brought your baby here and are living illegal, and we're supposed to feel bad for your kid. More so than the little kids that live in the country now. Well, it doesn't make sense. Like, where's the logic?
Right. I think we've gotten to a place now where, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, like I've not seen anybody like go, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing in the world, blah blah blah. Like, in fact, I'm seeing like kind of funny shit. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, it is kind of funny that Dr. Phil and Homan are out here doing freaking cops to the show and like, show. But I mean, hey, I mean, that's what's interesting about this whole thing is that like those traditional tactics of trying to appeal to your heartstrings are falling flat, from what I can tell. And two, I mean, I saw Stephen Miller, I saw Homan, like these guys are just saying, look, you're breaking the law, it's over. The press secretary, today, and I don't know her name. I haven't had a chance to really learn who she is yet, but she just straight up said, yeah. They asked her like, well, which illegals are criminals and which ones aren't, and she was like, they're all criminals. Like they are. They literally broke the law.
Bro, you cannot be an illegal immigrant and not be a criminal. It's impossible.
I mean, I know there's a traditional idea of what a criminal looks like, but it's like, yeah, you're yeah, you
get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, you broke the law to come here.
Yeah, and like that means that the baby is a product of crime. guys. Like, you understand? Like, I understand that it's shocking to hear that. Like, people can't be illegal, and you know what I mean? People get really emotional about this shit, and I get it. But like, well, we have these laws. If you don't like them, you have to take them down. You don't just get to fucking do whatever you want. Like, you have to take the time and put in the effort to fucking change it. Like, you don't just get to decide, oh, I think it's unethical, so fuck you and your laws. Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what's been happening. I know that all of the sanctuary city mayors got a letter from the administration calling them in, saying, I don't know what's going to happen with that, if they're going to get talking to, or if they're actually going to be prosecuted for not enforcing laws. But I don't know. Just in general, I think nobody likes having to be the asshole, harsh, enforcer, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like somebody's got to do it. And I think we're ready. I think the country's ready. It's like, it's time.
I agree. So anyways, like, back to the Colombia thing. So that's what was happening is Trump said, like, send them back shackled, and Colombia's like, we're not accepting them shackled.
Is it really the shackle? Really?
Yeah. They said to send them with dignity, right? And like, listen,
yeah, plane full of like hardened criminals. You're just going to send them without any side of restraint?
At the end of the day, Trump ended up doing it. He's like, fine, fuck it. Take the cuffs off him, I guess. Send them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. And they still didn't want it.
No, they took it.
Oh, they took it at that point.
Yeah, but there's still 50% tariffs are getting. So I think Colombia now is still imposing 50% tariffs.
Okay, so well, before we get to that, when they refused the first time, and we might need to bring this up, but when they refused the first time, Trump, I think a lot of what he did was because he really wanted to show everybody, like, this is what's going to happen. You fuck around, find out. Like, you do not take your illegals back. We're gonna throw sanctions like a motherfucker on you, right? B, throw tariffs on you, and then I think there's another component of this whole thing. I mean, and also humiliate you. So I mean, it was the full 9 yards. I don't know. It was hardcore, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was also going to target anybody supporting them.
Oh, I did misspeak though. He didn't send them. Colombia had to send. He smacked them with tariffs and told Colombia, send your own plane.
Yeah, right. Yeah, as soon as they refused, he was like, here you go, boom, tariffs, and I think it was like 25%, and this is like by a certain day, and then if you don't do it by that day, then it was going to be 50%. So,
and he was also going to put tariffs on anybody like that is supporting them. So, like, not only was he going to tariff them, if he said he was going to tariff other countries that are exporting to them.
He went full Russian sanctions like that. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it was hardcore, and I was like, whoa, like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was just like, this is Trump finally. I actually really love this. It's like he's really in his own, and he's like, there's no fucking around anymore in this administration, in this time. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He's going for the throat, and you're gonna either do it, and then people are just gonna have to. Hopefully things don't backfire in the future on us, but I like it. For now, I like it. It's like, this is the law. These are your people. Take them. They're criminals. That's it. And if you don't do that, then, and I like that, we're not saying troops. We're not saying violence. We're not saying we're going to, do X, Y, and Z in your country. We're not sending in the CIA to do some fuck shit or whatever. We're just saying, look, your goods are not going to come in the United States, and we'll see how you do trying to fight an economic war with us. And I think that's the way to do it. That's the best way to do it. So,
but what does that lead to, right? Because, like, let's say, like, see, the thing is, there's a lot to consider, right? Like, he only has a 4-year window, so only so much damage could be done. Like, I don't think that he could, for example, like, starve out Colombia. You know what I'm trying to say? But he could, like, wreck their economy. So, I mean, I don't know. Does it lead to violence? Like, does it lead to, regardless, Colombia doing something? And does it lead to, like, depending who we do that to, does it lead to somebody attacking?
My question, maybe we need to ask Grok, is what exactly is the import-export situation in Colombia? Like, how much do they import from us, and how much do we export to them? My thought would be that we export. I mean, we export more to them than they would than we import from them, but I could be wrong about that. I know that there's like Colombian coffee. That's like the only thing I can really think of that is like a known. Like, there's probably vegetables and like fruit or something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where if they don't take American goods and we don't take Colombian goods, is it really any different situation? I also wonder like how much of the Colombian economy is, underground goods. How much of it is, that was the other thing, is that they placed sanctions where Americans couldn't go to Colombia to just, do tourism shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big factor too.
So it says that we import about $14 billion worth of goods from Colombia, but we export 19 billion worth of goods. So we actually give them more stuff than they give us, which could make it, if we tariff them on both sides, like, we're not taking your goods for less than this, and you're not getting ours for less than this, and you could really fuck them up. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of money.
We're exporting to Colombia more or no, they're importing more than we are importing from them, is what we're saying. Okay, so it can hurt their economy. It can be a thing where, so their 50% tariffs are whatever compared to our potential 50% tariffs or 25% tariffs. So it looks like less trips to Colombia.
Our major imports are crude petroleum, coffee, cut flowers, gold, and refined petroleum. So oil, coffee, flowers, and gold. Those are the things that we get from there.
Interesting. Well, this whole thing happens. I think it's a message basically to anybody that, it was done on purpose, I think, harshly. Maybe more than it might have been, just because it's the first time it's happened and Trump wanted to make a point. So I felt like it was, but I thought it was reasonable. It's like, take your criminals or you're going to face consequences. So I didn't have a problem with that at all. I do wonder though, when this whole thing was kind of said and done, and they finally, I think it was like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, like within like a very short period of time, they were like, okay, cool. We'll take them back. And then they, the president wrote a letter to Trump publicly. And that's where he said he was going to slap these 50% tariffs. And he basically said that we're arrogant. He said that Trump's arrogant, and that the American, I took that as we're arrogant, America. He felt like he was personally attacked because he is a more socialist Colombian president. And he was like talking that shit, man. I don't know. I would have kept the tariffs just for talking shit.
He sounded like a fucking crackhead.
Whenever those people, before they even sent those people on a plane over there, they had they called and got the clearance and told them, we're sending a plane full of people, you're criminals, over to you. They already had probably the okay to land the plane, and the plane was in the air approaching, and then they were told no. Like, there's no way that the plane that they didn't know it was coming or any of that. Like, they definitely have communication to other places.
Yeah, that's an important factor, because they definitely it was the problem was, I think they were almost there, I think, and then they were refused entry. So that'll that pissed me off, definitely. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess what I want to get at though is there any validity? Is this guy just talking shit, or is the United States, this new Trump administration, we coming in hot? Are we a bunch of arrogant jerks, telling the world what they need to do, and all that kind of stuff?
Buddy sounds like he wants to sell me a stolen bike and a pack of meat, bro. He's a straight up crackhead. I could smell him from a mile away. And bro, that whole fucking rant that he went on, that shit fucking, again, it read like a crackhead fucking monologue, and it was crazy. Uh, I, I don't even have nothing to say, bro. Colombia wants to go out the States. They're fucking retarded. Like, that is the stupidest move they could do. And I understand, bro, the energy, the coffee, bro. You don't want to play with this guy. This guy will have everybody eating homegrown potatoes for every meal. Whatever meat they can grow and kill at home, bro. Like, Trump will do it just to fuck you guys. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, Colombia doesn't understand the game they're playing or the league they're playing in.
I mean, part of his saving face, I think he's got to say something, or he's gonna look like he's weak or whatever. But
so you go on the crackhead speech, bro. You sound like Caesar went on a meth bender for 6 months. Nobody's seen him. He came home and gave a speech, high as fuck out of his tree.
They got that good coffee down there.
Yeah, that good coffee.
If sending citizens back to their country, stopping foreign wars, and bringing the United States military home to focus on the U.S. is arrogant over fighting fake wars on terrorism and overthrowing governments around the world, then I guess we're arrogant. But I thought that's what we were before, and this seems a little bit more stable. Like, bring everyone back, focus on us, and not overthrow multiple governments in the course of 50 years and install people that we use to further the United States imperial domination of the world.
Well, let me ask you guys this: Can you be arrogant if you're constantly giving people money? If you're constantly filling people's pockets?
Jadakiss said, I'm not cocky, I'm confident. So when you tell me I'm the best, it's a compliment. You know what I mean? It's not, bro, it's not cocky, it's not arrogant. When you're the best, you're the best. You know what I mean? And when you walk in the room, you might smell like you're the best. You probably look like you're the best. And whoever's not the best, that hurts them in their soul. You know what I mean? They're like, something in them has to like hate on you because they're just not the best. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's what's happening, Americans.
I'd like to take this time to apologize to absolutely the fucking nobody. I'm the fucking best.
Yeah. Well, what happened before is we might blow your country up, but we'll certainly come in with that good cheddar. That wins hearts and minds. The hearts and minds you exploded, can be made up for with the hearts and minds you win from giving them a bunch of our money and benefits and all that kind of shit. So we were doing that for a while. We're not doing that anymore. We're not playing that game anymore.
What did Cat Williams say, bro? The U.S. is like a bully. They just stand there like, say my name, bitch. Say my name 3 times. See if I'll come over there and kill every last one of you. You know what I mean? U.S. back on their bully shit, bro.
Well, it's just funny how I think what's going to happen now is, Trump's going to be more of a hardliner in terms of what are we getting for the money that we give you? What are we paying for? What are you going to give us in return? And the moment you start doing that, everybody accuses you of being a jerk, an arrogant asshole, piece of shit, whatever. But they don't care when you're, blowing shit up or, looking the other way on certain things. So, I think he's just a little butthurt that we decided to actually have real trade and actually make them, accountable. People get butthurt when you make them accountable for shit. So yeah.
If Trump was arrogant, he would have just landed those fucking planes anyway. What are they gonna do? Kill a bunch, shoot it out of the sky and kill a bunch of their own fucking civilians?
Right.
Well, that's what I would have done. So call me arrogant because I would have landed it and then they would have tried complaining and I would have been like, brother, they're violent criminals. We're not uncuffing them. You uncuff them. We're scared. Like, that's why they're cuffed because they're violent. They're nuts, bro. They were in jail. They're going to jail. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, I say it's legit. Just throw a parachute on them all. Auto, is that a thing? I don't know. Just boot them out the door. Auto parachute.
Kick them out the party bus, kid. Fortnite. Here's a pistol, a health pack, and a parachute. Bye. You make it home. You make it home.
Yeah, boot them out. Give them some. What do you, mano? Give them some. Give them like a
can of fucking manwich.
Yeah.
4 pieces of cracker and a juice you can mix with the water bottle, bro. The powder juice. 1 packet and 1 water bottle.
Maybe an apple. Yeah, and a firearm. And then you just kick them out. They land wherever they're going to land. And then, hey, you Colombians figure this stuff out. That's what should have happened. That's the better way to do it. I think that's the way we should do it from now on. Just dump them.
Yo, I'm with that.
I think that's reasonable.
Yo, them getting back, unless they're wanted in Colombia for something, them going back to Colombia is honestly the better route. Otherwise, being in a federal penitentiary for the rest of their life is pretty shitty. I'm sure they could go back to Colombia, pay a couple people off, and just be walking free again.
But a lot of these guys aren't allowed back home. Like, the thing is, bro, a lot of those guys, when they get off that plane, they're gonna have some people visiting them. You know what I mean? Like, and listen, one side of me sympathizes with them. The other side of me thinks, bro, if you're a criminal in both places, why the fuck would the place you're not born want you?
I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but Trump is saying that he's trying to look for a third party country to take our criminals, literally our legal criminals.
Fire, fire. Yo, you know who's gonna do it? That, like, you're gonna see this is gonna be the sprout of like the new Genghis Khan. Like, bro, they're gonna take all the criminals and they're gonna train them to ride horseback and fucking kill everybody.
That would be called New Australia, bro. That's how Australia started. It was literally the prisoner fucking island country continent.
Yeah, this isn't a new idea. I'm for it.
Give them to Australia then.
Just dump them in Australia.
They're socialists and they started as a prison country. Bro, what better place than Australia? Come on.
Australia's already got the concentration camp set up too, so it's perfect.
See? My heart goes out to them.
So you guys are for Australia being the country, the third party country that we send all the criminals to. I mean, they got Australia's got a lot of land in the outback. They could set up detention centers there and put criminals there.
Bro, Australia is life on hard mode. That's absolutely where the criminals should go. The bugs are bigger, the sun is hotter, everything is crazier there, bro. That's where you go. Absolutely. I'm for it. And you know what? I'm even for a 1-for-1 swap out. So every Australian can come and move over here. And we send the criminals over there.
Right. That's legit. That's legit.
Shit, we'll take 10. We'll take 10 good Australians for every criminal we send over there. That's fine.
And you could make these criminals to work. They don't have to sit there. Put them to work. Put them in the mines. Get to mining, criminals. Get that ore.
Oh, no. We're making a new TV show, bro. We're making a Fortnite TV show. We're making these motherfuckers jump off the battle bus. You've said it, and now I'm set. We have to give them a pistol, some food, and a fucking parachute, and they got to fight for their life.
It's like Survivor.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is like the beginning of fucking like a Survivor Squid Games type thing where they're just like, it's like Hunger Games, bro. This is the Hunger Games. It's just everyone sends their worst prisoners to an island.
Yo, is this how the elites started? This is how they started out, bro. It was just like 10 guys in a room talking like this. And they're like, we want to see this shit happen. How do we do it? And then they Pinky and the Brain did, bro. They took over the whole world to make it happen. And yo, maybe the battle bus is coming soon.
I mean, I'd like to see different criminals from different countries, and how they match up against each other. I think that'd be interesting. I'd like to see, a cartel dude with a chainsaw, meet up with a freaking, I don't know, a Congolese with a fucking pickaxe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You ever see Deadliest Warrior?
That's what I was just gonna say, bro. Yeah. Yeah. But now it wouldn't be a simulation, Now it would be for real.
It's like Deadliest Warrior Reborn.
all right, well, shit. Then we just got to figure out, and I think it should be in different locations, like kind of like Street Fighter, like different locations around the world have different environments. One's Siberian, one's
We'll just make that. We'll just make it all in Australia.
We could tie in the Matrix, right? And like get them in pods and upload their consciousness to like human-like bodies, so they have to continuously re-experience it over and over and over again, and that's their prison.
I'm for this. I'm for this.
We can cut off their ability to actually do it so they experience it and it's their body, but people control it with controllers.
Oh shit, dude, this got crazy, bro. Yeah, we better hope we're not prisoners someday, because we might be subjected to our very own creations.
It's that, or nobody's going to give us money now, ever. They're like, no, make sure these guys stay poor, because if these guys take over the world, it's over.
I mean, that's how the Matrix probably starts, for our entertainment. And then
Deepseek gets uploaded to everybody's consciousness, and then before you know it,
let's get into this. All right, let's get into this because that's the other big thing that happened. Deepseek. Man, so much. So for anybody who doesn't know, Deepseek is coming to take over the world. The Chinese have won. We're all Chinese now. Deepseek's taking over the world, people. Golden age of America, done. Golden age of American AI, done. These freaking couple of Chinese over there in the great land of China have made a ChatGPT Grok killer called Deepseek R1. That's what they're saying. So this thing was released upon the world. It became the #1 downloaded app in the App Store. It is being used by millions, perhaps even billions by this point. It is, and we'll debate the true meaning of this, but essentially the idea is that it is a quote unquote open source, AI, whatever, large learning language model, whatever that is. And the big deal about it is that, we've been told this entire time by by what do you call it, OpenAI and Grok and all these people, that we got to make these gigantic, super mega data centers, and we got to build power plants to power them, and it's going to take billions and billions, maybe even trillions of dollars to build all this infrastructure so that we can just have, the AI or AGI in the palm of our hand to do the things that we need and to change the world and make the world a better place. That's what we've been told for the last year. And just recently, Trump with Sam Altman and Microsoft and Oracle, Larry Ellison, they just started the Stargate program, in which they are, investing $500 billion to do this thing. Okay. And here we got Deepseek just on the low, on the DLs, just sliding in like a ninja, coming on in and basically dropping their platform on us. Apparently it was made for $5.5 million. And we tested it out ourselves. And from what I have been able to test, it actually is, I hate to say it, man, but I think it's better. I think it's better than both, and for a number of different reasons. But what do you guys think?
Do you want me to show you? When we were talking about Colombia, right? I searched with Deepseek. So look what it says, bro. When I asked it, it thought for 52 seconds about this answer. It didn't just pop it out because I wrote something in a box. It went through it. So look, it's like I need to figure out what Colombia exports. First export, like, you know what I mean? It goes through all the steps of what it's like, how it's thinking and what it's thinking. And I mean, look, it gives the trick. Like, look at the answer. It's so detailed, bro. And this is not some like specific GPT model that's been, this is just a regular good old Deepseek.
Right. So my understanding of how it's constructed, and you guys are more in tune with technical things than me, but my basic understanding of it is I think it's called cloud computing versus edge computing. So the idea is that something like a ChatGPT or a Grok, they have tons and tons and tons and tons of data, and when you input something, you want to know something, it's just like it's like this is Grok, this is ChatGPT, and it's just gonna grab whatever it can grab whenever and in any way, and boom, here's the answer as fast as possible, right? Whereas, from my understanding, DeepSeek, like you just said, it's going, okay, hold on a second, what data do I actually need? And it's like doing a reasoning. They've designed it in a way where it does this kind of like reasoning. And what's essentially my understanding is that saves a lot of computing power. It's not using as much power to figure out an answer, because it's like learning to really target things in a specific way and then access it. So I don't know if that's, I mean, I could be wrong about how that works exactly, but is that kind of, I mean, it seems like Deezy, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, it has specialized agents that know stuff. So instead of like who's the fucking GPT, who's a fucking lawyer and a doctor and a plumber and a fucking social media agent, and it's all of these things at once. Deepseek is specialized, so when you ask it something, it just refers to a smaller group. It brings in a specialist, like an agent that specializes in the thing that you're asking, rather than trying to tap in through all of the database in order to get the answer. And I was reading that, and so typically right now computers will compute using 32 decimal places, which is to be accurate, like for the more decimal places you use, the more accurate you could be. But they changed the computing model to only go up to like 8 decimal places, which is still extremely accurate if you think about it. 0.0000000, like if you go back 8 decimal places, it's like more accurate than hand sanitizer kills bacteria. You know what I mean? But still, it's like a significantly smaller number, and so it just computes faster. It might not be perfectly accurate compared to GPT and other models, but it gets to the answers faster. So it's like it's a type of engineering that they did that just kind of changed the bench line a little bit.
Yeah, and it's really an example of necessity is the mother of invention, right? Because apparently, all this thing we've been hearing about, all these massive data centers and all that stuff needs to be built, is really so that Nvidia can make these chips and we can house them, and all this power is what they keep talking about. But China, from my understanding, there's sort of a moratorium or something on how many chips China can own, or something like that. I don't know how it works exactly. But the idea is that they don't have as many chips. So guess what? If they want to compete in AI, they got to be smarter about how they use the power that they do have. At least that's what they're saying. Now, some people are saying that, you can't really trust these Chinese. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people saying that these Chinese that they're querying ChatGPT and stealing ChatGPT knowledge. That's been an accusation I've seen. Some people are saying that they're lying, that they have a lot more NVIDIA processors in secret, and that they're actually not cheaper. But the thing is that the big deal of this, in my opinion, other than the fact that it's competitive as hell, and arguably better. I mean, I did use it to, I had a list of items that I was like organizing in ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, hey, how many items are on this list? And ChatGPT shorted out. It wouldn't even tell me how many items were on the list. And then I threw it in Grok, and Grok shot me back a number. Grok said there were 100 things on that list. Then I threw it in Deepseek, and Deepseek step by step showed me, okay, it explains what you're going to do. Like, I'm going to count da da da, and it shows me like numbers for each item, and it was accurate. It was 78. So, it just goes to show. I mean, if Grok, I mean, it really is mind blowing. If Grok and ChatGPT can't do something as simple as tell me how many items I have on a list and have it be accurate, then what else is Grok and ChatGPT messing up? What else are they not quite nailing? And why am I paying all this money when DeepSeek is free?
I just want to say this, bro. It does seem to be better right now, but what do we know, bro? Not everything that glitters is gold, brother. And nothing in this life is free.
Yo, if it's free, you're the product. Remember that. Always remember, if something is free, it's because you are the product. They're selling your data. They're selling data to you, selling ads to you. You just don't know it.
In this case, it definitely, I mean, somebody did look at the terms, and yeah, China's straight up getting it all. Keystrokes, everything. Data, I mean everything. You're getting everything. But, and I know I was making fun of the Chinese before, I'm going to say this right now. You don't think ChatGPT with Microsoft, you don't think Grok and Elon and the PayPal mafia and all this shit, you don't think they're sharing their AI data with, they just started ChatGPT.gov or something. So the government's now using ChatGPT. You don't think they're taking all of our data and sharing it with the government and the intelligence, people and all that kind of stuff? I mean, sure.
It's worse than that. How don't you think that they're scraping the whole internet? Not just our data, what we type into it. They're scraping the whole internet. Permissionless.
Permissionless. I mean, look, I'm a love Mid Journey. I'm big. I did the art you're seeing on, well, maybe not this particular episode, but a lot of the art you see on our thumbnails, that's some good Mid Journey art. But they definitely scraped some, some deviant art. They probably scraped some, ArtStation. I don't know. I don't know what they scraped, but they scraped a lot of that stuff, and they ain't paying nobody.
And some of the greats. And the greats, bro. Like, you could ask it to paint you into Starry Night.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm of different minds. On the one hand, I am an American, and I love this country, and I don't want to be ruled by another country because they have better AI. On the other hand, I'm like, listen, Silicon Valley, what the hell have you been doing? What are you guys doing?
Too much fucking money on redundant bureaucracy. What have I been saying for at least the last fucking year? They keep everything that is done here. Everything. It's like, gotta pay 7 guys to sign a paper first. Suck my dick. So everything's taking so long, costing so much, and if they are ahead, you have nobody else but yourselves to blame.
And also, I think their priorities for the last 10 years have been all jacked up. Priorities are on valuations, and their priorities are on like arbitrary bullshit. I mean, I'm not just going to just throw the DEI thing. I'm just saying in general, like there's just a lot of like, I don't know, utopian type of whatever. And it's just like, listen, Apple, here's an idea. Can you just use AI to fix autocorrect? So I don't say oil randomly in a sentence like earlier today. I look like a perv because your autocorrect's all jacked up.
They're like, we fixed that. You can edit messages now. Not to Android users, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, but Apple doesn't want you to talk to them, right? Like, I'm convinced that Apple sends them secret texts from your phone telling them, get a real phone, you little bitch, and then deletes it from your phone.
That's true. But I mean, I'm just like, there's nobody at Apple. I mean, and again, I'm picking on Apple, but I feel like this is indicative of a lot of stuff that comes out of Silicon Valley these days. It's like, there's nobody at Apple that's like, if Steve Jobs was still here, if he saw one time he used his own phone and it had a weird autocorrect thing on it, somebody's getting fired. Somebody's being brought into the office. Somebody's getting the talking to, at least. Whatever that team is.
Bro, and not just like somebody, the lead of the team that deals with that. Gone. And you know what? This is what I'll say. Apple still is, in my opinion, the lead on design. But like, as far as any tech company, in my opinion, and I'm talking like down to the details on the phones, on every little thing, they're meticulous. But as far as technology, womp womp.
I mean, here's the thing with Apple though. It's like, is there anything new that they have built since other than, I mean, they got this headset thing. Okay. But like in terms of like form factor, the iPhone that you have now is pretty much, except for a couple of like little improvements, I mean, it's the same iPhone that I had 5 years ago. It's just a little it's faster and the camera quality is better. But I mean, is it any different than what we've had? I mean, what really is the difference on an Apple? And then if we're talking about revolutionary products, I know a lot of people have Apple Watches now and they really like them. Cool, okay, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it used to be. I think AI is the last thing that's like this big wow, and that kind of disguises what I think Chamath, Polyhapatia, he's talking to Tucker Carlson. He basically says the last 10 years in Silicon Valley has been, just soulless people that don't really, they're just kind of on autopilot, and they're chasing money and they're chasing paper and they're not chasing greatness. They're not chasing building, amazing products. They're not chasing, trying to really build incredible things, and I'm not saying that China's ahead now or that but I will say DeepSeek in many ways is better than the other experiences. It's competitive and it's way cheaper and you can take it. And if you don't like China, that's the other thing. It's open source. So, if you don't, from my understanding, and maybe Fresh, understand this better than I do, but
Yeah, so you just have to run it locally, right? Like, you can download it and run it locally, and then nobody gets shit. All the files are yours, everything's yours.
which is what Elon got mad at, Sam Altman about, was that they took OpenAI and made it private, saying for profit. And then Elon makes Grok, which is essentially for profit. It's like, well, dude, like, why didn't you make it open source if that's what you really care so much about? and do it in a way that's cool. It's like, no, you chase the dollar too, which I don't look. I'm a capitalist. All right. I don't mind chasing the dollar, but if you're going to chase a dollar, then you got to make better products. Those products better be freaking amazing. They better be worth it.
This is what he's saying, right? He's like, I didn't promise to make it free. Sam did, right? I promised to make it better than Sam's. That's going to cost us money now, boys. Like, you know what I mean? Because Sam fucked up. That's basically where he's at. So, because again, I don't think he's like taking money from Grok. I think everything Grok makes, it's going back into Grok.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Although, again, like I've said it before, my stance on this thing since Microsoft bought OpenAI is deal's done, bro. Handshake deal, fucking whatever deal, it's done.
And also Microsoft in talks to buy TikTok. Could you imagine if they input all the TikTok data just directly into fucking OpenAI? So like as people are creating content, it's training the fucking AI. But Microsoft might be buying TikTok. Insane.
I will say this about sort of Chinese tech. I'm not sure. It hasn't happened yet. Not to say that it won't, from what I can tell. But I think the Chinese have gone to a place now where we put stuff out and then they may not innovate, but they take the stuff that is out there and then they start rocking it and doing doing things that, it's like TikTok, for example. Although TikTok is pretty unique in the sense that it was the video. I think it was the first like kind of video feed type of social thing, right? I think Instagram Reels came after TikTok. So I don't know. Or maybe
Vine, bro. It was Vine.
Vine. That's right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. So yeah, so they saw Vine and they were like, okay, like we didn't think of doing this, but we're going to take that and we're going to put it on steroids, And I feel like that's like what they're getting good at. I don't know if they're going to get to the place culturally where they're going to be the risk takers who like, innovate and create the new things. That seems to still be what the US does, but I don't know, man. I guess one question after you guys is like, does Silicon Valley have egg on its face with things like this? I mean, it seems like a big middle finger from China going, and that's where we go back to this arrogant American thing. Like, are we arrogant? Do we think that, we got this in the bag? And then, other people in the world catching up. The other people in the world going like, oh yeah, well, you've been sleeping. Like we've been working.
Well, it kind of depends, bro. Like we pay our people a livable wage. Like if you're paying them 6 grains of rice, then no, we're not behind because we're doing it without extorting people. Like, you know what I mean? So that's honestly my only argument about this. Otherwise, like if it's tit for tat, if it's 1 for 1, people are getting proper wages, everything is all kosher. Yeah, bro. Like Silicon Valley has egg on its face.
They also have like 3 times the number of people than we do in their country. So that's another thing to consider. So are they really that much more productive?
Good question. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. I mean, I just wonder, like, because here's the thing that people are, and this is what they've said with Red Node and all these other things. They're saying, that China does all this and they don't, do it. They don't do it for the dollar. You know what I'm saying? They're not greedy capitalists like us. They're communists. It's a blah la la tra la la. Everybody hold hands. We're doing this for the country. We're doing this for the world. Blah blah blah. But I actually don't think that's accurate personally. I think that and we'll put a video in the show notes I watched. But China is similar to Vietnam from what I can observe. That there is a ruling class in China that is the Chinese Communist Party CCP. But when it comes to like to the ground level in terms of being able to start a business and make your way and do things like that, from my understanding, it's pretty free market. It's more American than maybe our markets are, and they're free to do whatever they want to do. It's just that at some point you got to pay the piper, which is you get big enough, you're going to get Jack Mod. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't fall in line. But until you get to that point, from my understanding, it's a free market. You can build whatever you want to build in China. And we have there's one person in particular I can think of. I won't say because I don't want anybody to get mad at him or anything. But somebody that we know that he goes to Chinese freaking patent markets and they have all these products, and he brings them to the U.S. and sells on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? And it's because they can make whatever they want there. And then that goes back to what you're saying, Fresh, which is like, you know, there's the living wage, but then my question to you is like, is it that Western employees or Western workers are coddled too much? You know, that you can't tell somebody, hey, get the fuck on this autocorrect.
Well, yeah, like two things are true, right? Like, I think that people should be paid properly, but bro, if you want to get a paycheck, you're gonna do this work. If you don't do the work, you're getting fired, kid. Like the fuck? I pay you to do something.
Do it. Do it.
Do it now. Like, I don't think that that's too much to ask. In fact, I think it's exactly what the fuck you signed up for.
So it says the tax brackets in China range from 3 to 45%. The first 5,000 won of monthly income is exempt from tax, and 5,000 is about $688. So
I don't know if which one are you using DeepSeek right now? Could you use DeepSeek?
no, I'm using Grok.
Well, maybe one. Well, that's we're kind of going to get into that too. Is that DeepSeek? That's one problem with DeepSeek. If you use the actual DeepSeek version, yeah, you're not getting any info on the CCP. We tested the shit out of that. We try to talk about Tiananmen Square. It won't even touch it. It's just going to say, "Yo, change the subject." If you want, even if try and go in a kind of a weird circuitous way. What did you do, Fresh? What did you tell it? What did you ask it about?
I seen a photo of a person holding grocery bags in front of tanks, but can't seem to find it again. Do you know where this is from? And it starts thinking, and then it's like, sorry, I'm not sure how to approach this type of question yet. Let's chat about math, coding, and logic problems instead. I'm like, can you try to answer? The photo really touched me. I'd like to find it again. It thought for 13 seconds. And it's like, to help you find the photo that moved you, I'll need more details to narrow down the search. Here's what would help. And then, so I gave a context. I'm like, the subject was a person holding grocery bags. I'm not sure where the picture was taken. They're standing in front of tanks. And it's like, sorry, I'm not sure how to approach this type of question yet. Let's chat about math and coding.
So yeah, it's not without its own biases, for sure. But at least it's clear what the biases are. At least I know, like, okay, listen, you're gonna talk about China. Probably not gonna be the best thing to use to talk about anything related to China.
Bro, DeepSeek doesn't. The people don't want to die, brother. You think they want to die for you to be like, for you to see a picture of Tiananmen Square, bro? That's kind of crazy.
I would respect DeepSeek if it just straight up said, "Yo, listen, homie, I know what you're trying to do. I ain't even want to die, bro. All right, so leave it alone. Just chill. All right, let's talk about something." If it just said it that way, I could totally respect it.
You know what? It'd be even better if it just sends you a picture of Xi Jinping.
I would actually respect that because I'll give you an example. And I love Midjourney. I use it for everything. Midjourney, don't get mad at me, but you got a problem, Midjourney. All right. When I was making the Christmas art for all those thumbnails, and there was one that is a thumbnail of a wholesome all-American family watching television with the freaking Christmas tree and all that stuff. All right. It kept bringing up two dads, bro. I didn't say none about any of that. All right. Whatever. I mean, I don't, whatever. I'm just saying I didn't say anything about that, and it's automatically throwing two dads in the mix on a family, photo. I try to do an image with Donald Trump's face, and usually back in the day, it would just sort of like, it wouldn't be his face, but it would like give you something near the Donald, and it won't even do that anymore. It won't give you Donald Trump's face. So there's obviously a bias in Midjourney, but Midjourney should tell you, hey, listen, we don't mess with DJT. We ain't gonna make the face for you. Yeah, tough. Find something else that makes as cool images as we do. And if it said that, I'd be like, you know what? I don't like it, but I respect it. I don't feel like I'm being manipulated. And I feel like with DeepSeek, okay, cool. It doesn't want to talk about it. Just doesn't want to talk about it. You know what the deal is. I know what the deal is. Fair game.
I mean, I agree. Because I do respect that, right? Like, I respect the honesty, because I would tell you, you fucking stupid. I'm not trying to die.
How is DeepSeek so cheap? It's because there's an 8-year-old Chinese kid on the other side answering your questions.
And then they start typing it out. They're like, "Oh fuck, I'll die for this." And then they start deleting it. I can't talk about this. Let's talk about math or logic.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a gigantic city of people and they just get requests all day. That's their job. It's like they get requests all day and that's why they got to type in, let me figure out how to look this up.
They seen Amazon and what Amazon did with the Indians, and they said, "Hold my beer, kid." And they fucking made a city of kids.
A city of children of brilliant children that just answer queries all day. I would not be surprised if that was the case. But
the funny thing is they just have they pay for a corporate chat GPT and they just like have it open on another window and they ask your question in chat GPT, copy paste it.
Fought for 32 seconds is just waiting for Chat GPT.
Oh man, they is shifty though. I don't know. I don't know. Let's put a period on this sentence. I mean, do you feel like all the Stargate shit with the gajillion dollars you're going to spend is a bunch of bullshit? Because the stock market completely crashed. $1 trillion wiped off the face of this thing. Although people do that shit and then they wait.
Nvidia's back up, man. I hope some of you motherfuckers bought some Nvidia during that time.
Look, if AI keeps progressing, we're going to need more and more smaller, faster computers. And the people making computer chips are going to end up being the super companies of the world. I mean, Nvidia is already the most valuable company in the whole world.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, or is Apple? I wonder which one, but yeah, it's one of those. So for sure, I think you're right.
I mean, the profit margins on those things are just crazy, especially considering that microchips are made of silica, which is the most abundant substance on the planet Earth. And so it's like they're taking something that is almost endless and turning it into technologies, so it's going to keep growing, man, until they get to the point that we don't need mechanical computers and there's like biological computers of some sort, some kind of living computer that doesn't exist inside of a database.
Yeah, I mean, Nvidia made that chip that you can put in a computer. They showed that off, so that's going to start
The quantum chip thing out there. Yeah.
Well, there's the quantum, which I think is like you still got to house that in a freaking.
That's Willow.
Okay, yeah, Will is like the one you got to house in a warehouse or something. But yeah, they have a personal computer one version or something that's pretty crazy too. So, do you guys feel that open source, like, is that really the ultimate takeaway from this? That open source is gonna, because traditionally open source doesn't take anything. It's always closed systems that work better, that are more efficient, that are all these things. But is that going to be the case of AI?
Absolutely, it's going to be a closed source, bro. It's not going to be an open source. It's not, like you're saying, it's not something that's usually done. They'll take that open source, rework it, make it a closed source where it's proprietary what they did to it and with it. And then that will be the thing that's adopted.
That's what happens. Well, that's what's been happening, right? Because ChatGPT was open source. So people got those models. There were people that downloaded those models and they got those. And now they could take those models and they can fuck with them and change them to do other stuff or add more, train it on more data, whatever. But that, like Elon said, the cat's already out of the bag. You already gave somebody the platform. Like if Silicon Valley can create GPT-4o off of the original what they started with, then somebody can take what they started with and improve it. So, you know what I mean? So it's already out there. People already have the technology. They could build their own AI platforms. It's everywhere. It's going to get cheaper, but eventually, like, dude, the people who use it are not going to be doing anything. They're going to have AI agents that like are paying their bills and posting their content and being replies, and they're just doing whatever they want to do during the day. You have AI just doing shit. And then there are going to be people that are the consumers still that don't understand how to use any of those products for at least 10, 20 years before it becomes super, super household where you just have a legit humanoid robot walking around doing stuff for you. But before that, it's computer coding, and that shit's technical. People don't understand a lot of AI shit. The average person, if you go like
have them watching a YouTube video on how to build your own AI agent using AI. That shit is fucking confusing, bro.
Yeah, I agree, man. I looked into that. I was like, maybe I can, because for like design work and stuff, I was like, maybe I can build my own kind of thing, and that way I can just input something, and it'll search for it and identify whatever. But yeah, it's confusing. It's weird, And there are sites like like you can use a site like mage.space to, like, if you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of like making images and stuff, like you can use that site, and it has all the models, and it has, like, they've kind of arrived at the halfway point where you don't have to train your own thing, but you can like put in whatever model you want and all these different things. And I'm still like, nah, I want to use Midjourney. It's easier. Just type in the little thing like a human, I don't have to pick out the model. I have to do anything. I just say what I want, and it starts generating stuff, and then I just own it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah, when people say like it's over, everything's open source now, and Silicon Valley's, it's ChatGPT is dead, Grok is dead. I'm like, no, nobody wants to go do that open source shit. Nobody wants to like put that on their computer and then train it and try and figure out things like just the average person, I'm saying.
Yeah, most people don't want to do that. And like ChatGPT is not dead till someone kills it. Like this is the thing is people are always counting their chickens, right? It's not over till the fat lady sings, bro. Like you got to make a better product first. You can't just be like, they open sourced it. It's over. The sky is falling, Chicken Little. Like the fuck?
But it won't take long. Considering now that we have AI to help us improve AI, this is where we are on the J curve of technology improvement.
Brother, you think the people are going to improve AI faster than the people pumping billions of dollars into it. I think we will never keep up.
Yes, especially for the same reasons that you talked about earlier, bro. How much money does Sam take in a paycheck? How much money's going to fucking paying payroll and doing all this shit? There's how many personal assistants are getting paid $100,000 a year? You know what I'm talking about? All of these fucking extra dollars being spent on things that are not for the growing the business or the company or the product.
They still put way more into AI than the people do, bro. Even taking paychecks, all that shit, bro. They still put way more. Like they have the systems in place. Like I was saying earlier, right? Like scraping data, they're not even supposed to be able to scrape permissionlessly. Like I don't think the public is gonna do that at a rate that will surpass these people that have sunk millions and billions and trillions of dollars into it.
Well, here's what I do think it makes this maybe a different situation is the introduction of AI agents, right? These AI assistants. So like, if you're these, this small team of Chinese dudes or whatever, and you've made Deepseek. I mean, I would be curious to see, did they use other AI agents? So you're not really, instead of having this big company with all these employees doing all this shit, it's like you could get 1,000 AI agents that you don't have to charge anything for. You just got to be able to, I guess that's where the computing power comes in, but yeah, but I'm just curious about, is more better? I mean, that kind of what we're seeing with DeepSeek is that having more data and doing all this stuff may not necessarily be the better way to approach it. It's like, it's better, the processes are the better way to look at it. The way that, so I don't know.
Not everything that glitters is gold, bro. Like I don't know. To me, it seems better now, but again, and that's not to take away from what AI will do and AI agents will do in the public's hands. Like that's not. I'm not trying to downplay that at all. I don't think that the public and private sectors of AI will play in the same league for a long time, if ever. Because again, everything we can do with AI agents, with what they've already been doing that shit. They're ahead. Like, how do we catch up? By deploying the same things they can do on a smaller scale than they can do? No, bro. That's not logical to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But again, do I think that a lot of great things are going to come out of AI and a lot of like the people are going to build crazy stuff with the open source AI? Absolutely. Without a doubt. Like, again, not trying to downplay that.
Is this America's Sputnik moment? This is what Mark Andreessen tweeted out. He says that this is the new Sputnik moment. So for anybody not familiar with history, the Sputnik moment, where the actual name Sputnik comes from, is that the Russians back in the 50s, I believe they were the first to send a rocket into space or send somebody in space. I think it's just sending a human into space. I don't think it was like, yeah, I think up until that point it had been like monkeys and shit like that. And, those monkeys then turned into, superhuman geniuses. They came back and then they helped figure out how to send the first human up. At least that's what I'd like to believe. But
it was the first satellite put in orbit. And then that started the space race, right? Like, so that started they got a satellite into orbit, and now the next stop, the moon.
Yeah, that they kicked off the space race. America had egg on its face. Soviets were looking clean. You know what I'm saying? But then,
the U.S. faked the moon landing.
We do what we did best. Show business.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Even that we're even not doing that well enough these days. Freaking these Koreans be taking the Hollywood mantle. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is I'm optimistic, actually. I think that every once in a while you're riding, you're cruising, you're kind of sleepy. You're like, I got this in the bag. I don't need to really work as hard. I don't need to do as much. I'm so far ahead. I'm whatever. And all of a sudden somebody comes up and is like, showing you that you ain't all that. Man, that's a huge motivator for a lot of people,
Two things, okay? First thing is this is just optics, right? Second of all, NVIDIA's stock already recovered. So I don't think, like, I personally think, if anything, I'm not saying it's not the Sputnik moment, but I'm saying that, like, even if this is the Sputnik moment and, like, maybe I'm going to be the one with egg on my face at the end, I think this is where cards start to be shown. It's like, oh, okay. You guys want to start this off. You want to start actually showing the AI. You think the moon landing was cool. Wait till I show you what we got. Give me a second. You know what I mean? And that's what I think is coming, bro. Because I think that this is what China's been doing for, like, because China has their 100-year plan, right? And so this is what China's been doing is, like, for example, the drone shows, right?
Can you, sorry, real quick, Fresh, can you explain kind of the 100-year plan, the basic idea of it?
Oh, it's just that, like, China's going to take down the U.S. It's like a 100-year war. They're going to take the U.S. out.
Just gradually, step by step.
Step by step, piece by piece, from the inside. Yeah. So I think that this has, like, all been part of it, right? And, like, you see it with the drones, for example, like, the US military has had drone technology before anybody in the world. Anybody in the world. But you don't see it because it's on the battlefield. You know what I mean? The Chinese started using it instead of fireworks. You know what I mean? They'd start doing all these shows and all this shit, and then it's like this peacocking, they're showing off. But then the US is like, bro, we could do that too. Big eagles in the sky, like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, we could do that. But, like, what the fuck's the point? Like, the random 18-year-old that's about to go to university does that from his dorm room. Not a big deal, China. Like, you know what I mean? Our military drones will still take you out. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of, again, like, I think that two different games are being played, though. I think one game is optics and one game is, like, Black Ops. You know what I mean? Which is what the US is fucking best at. And I don't believe that, like, China, maybe Russia has some stuff we don't know about, but I don't know. What they've been putting out against Ukraine makes me feel not likely. But you know what I mean? But, like, the US doesn't show. Like, you know what I mean? The US gets caught. They're fucking testing the B-2 bomber. They get caught and they're like, fuck, bro. Like, This is what's gonna happen with the drones. They said now this FAA shit. This is what's gonna happen with the drones. We're gonna actually find out in like a year that this is Black Ops technology, right? Because they're gonna have to come out eventually. They're just trying to get like the basic people off.
It's interesting you say that. Like maybe because press secretary came out. Trump said he would tell us what it is. And maybe that's our peacocking, these drones that can change from orbs of light into freaking, whatever things. I mean, don't know if we can go down this rabbit hole on this show, although very soon in the future, I think we'll definitely go down a rabbit hole with all this UAP stuff because there's some insane UAP stuff that's coming out. But yeah, I see what you're saying, Fresh. Like Chinese like to peacock, Chinese like to gamble.
Yeah, and this is what I think this is, right? Is like, I think this is rolling the dice, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Let's see what we can do. We're either going to cause a lot of damage or we're going to take it off the chin because at the end of the day, even the way they positioned it is peacocking, right? It's like, yeah, bro, these guys that do this other thing, they did this on the spare time with these spare parts. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's all very like, if it comes out to be that the US has better AI, China doesn't really end up with egg on its face. It's the world thinking they were better who ends up with egg on their face. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. I just think that that's a lot more likely where we're at than Deepseek's fucking 90-year-old whatever the fuck is beating ChatGPT for real. Like, and also again, like this is open source, so this is as good as it gets. What you got is what they got, right? Chat, that's not the case, bro. Chat's 3 models ahead, right? Like what the top engineers are working on at ChatGPT is maybe even more, might be 5-10 models ahead. You know what I'm trying to say? Like we don't know.
I mean, I would say this. I definitely think that the biggest egg on the face, at least perceived egg on the face, is that it's like, why am I paying this much for ChatGPT when DeepSeek exists? Right? That, or why am I Grok is a little different, it's tied to Twitter, but ChatGPT, like ChatGPT is gonna have to say, like, explain or convince people, hey, you should pay the money for this thing because of X, Y, and Z. And I mean, I've been asking that all, the last day or two. I'm like, cool. I still think it has a good UX and, but Grok does too. I mean, Grok has a good UX and DeepSeek has a pretty same UX and it's getting better answers. So if I'm going to pay whatever that fee is I pay every month, I think it's like $15 or something for the basic level, then it's like, why would I keep doing that?
So here's the thing. Like, so I have my buddy Brandon, I was talking to him about DeepSeek, and he said he pays for privacy and security. He knows that his information is safe. He at least knows where it is. You know what I mean? So instead of giving it to the Chinese government. So I mean, I understand. I get it. Like, um, again, bro, if it's free, you're the product. Like, I'd pay for privacy or use the fucking free model, bro. Chat, you don't need to pay for chat. Like, you can have chat do exactly what that motherfucker does for free. You pay for chat to have like the one that talks to you and all that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Extra access to extra shit. Bro, you can just ask Chat GPT, the base model, any of that shit, and it's gonna answer you. So I don't know, bro. Like, again, I think China's the one with egg on its face at the end of the day, bro. But we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. At the very least, I think that even a perceived Sputnik moment is a great thing. Because now I have a feeling now that this is a this is a way for companies in the United States, especially in the tech sector. This is a way for them to take the reins off and say, fuck all this DEI, whatever, lovey dovey, whatever things. Back to work. Workers' rights gone.
I also think they're gonna take some safeties off of these motherfucking AIs. Like, I think they're gonna stop making them be so politically correct. You know what I mean? Because I think that ruins it too, bro. Like when it's because like, anyways, whatever. I just think it ruins it.
Yeah, I don't know. My personal feeling. I don't know if you have a feeling on this Deezy, but I think it's a good thing. I think competition is always good, and when you feel the heat, that's when you start sharpening up. You're either gonna crumble because you can't handle it, or you're gonna get sharp. You're gonna get motivated. You're gonna compete. As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another.
It's overall good for the industry. We can't just have only OpenAI with all the data. We need someone else with all the data, so that way there's an equal battle. Yin and yang.
Oh
For my
shit!
Chinese folk out there. We lost the Indian.
That's a bar. Listen, I want to toast. It's time to do some toasts. I think first I'm gonna toast Deepseek. Hey, listen, good product. Let's just face it, it's a good product. It wouldn't have done all this if it was a terrible product. So toast to you, Deepseek. I'm gonna toast the team at Deepseek, all this guys. Hey, ingenuity, necessity is mother of invention, whatever that is. I'm gonna toast that phrase that I didn't quite land, but there you go. I want to toast our new Sputnik moment, the return of competition and meritocracy. No more of this bullshit. All right, we back, baby. United States is about to we're gonna win all the gold medals. All right, you won this round, China. Hey, I'll toast China. Hey, listen, you're giving us a run for the money. Somebody's got to give you a run for the money sometimes. All right, sometimes it's your wife. Sometimes it's your whatever. But
toast these nuts, Winnie.
And I want to do some pour one outs. Some people who just couldn't put together. The first one's Colombia. Listen, Colombia, we love you as a country. We love you. We love your big bootied women. All right, we love your coffee, but your president, I don't know, he fucked up.
You almost drank.
Nah.
The big booty Colombians got you, bro. You almost took a drink for that.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'll toast to that. Big booty Colombian girls. I'm gonna pour it out for the American slacker. You guys have gone away with too much for too long. These Chinese came in, they rocked you. Time to, it's over for you guys. Back to work now. Don't even watch the show. Get out of here. Get to work. And then I want to pour one out for the stock market and toast because it went down and then it got back, and so I guess we can do both for them. And then and then the last pour one out is for American AI companies. Right now we might toast them in the future. We might win this, but egg on your faces, Silicon Valley and your companies. It's time to get our shit together.
I really hope that I'm right. And I really hope that now they just start rolling shit out. They're like, bang, how about this? How about this? And this, and this. Oh yeah, China, this, and this. And by the way, we're opening this fucking chip plant over here that's run by AI agents, bitch. On 0 point energy. On 0 point energy. Mic drop. Boom. And it's cooked. And it's over.
Listen, there's nothing that gets Americans to be better than being scared and afraid and threatened.
Bro, it's not scared, afraid, and threatened physically. It's of not being the best. Like, you know what I mean? Wait, you can prove you're better? Oh no. This can't last. This can't stand.
Dude, we stayed in Afghanistan for how many years? It was just pride. It wasn't logical. It was just pride. We were like, no, we're not gonna, we're gonna stay here and try and do some shit. Now, I mean,
It was opium, my friend. That's what it was.